Today we're going to take a look at setting the volume on a audio quality testing. So in this case I have two phones that are connected by ear jack. They're set up in a paired call, but the process that we'll go through today can be used for audio quality server as well as a paired call sample like this. So the first thing to kind of take a look at here is the blue line is your received WAV file, the white line is your reference file, and the goal is to get the two at the same volume level as it goes into the Polka algorithm. So the attenuation is this value here in the parenthesis. You want that as close to 0 as possible. A number from 1 to 5 is typically fine. There's some requirements that want to get it somewhere between 0 and 1, so it depends on your end target goal. But here we can adjust the volume. So let's start by just talking a little bit about how the laptop talks to the phone. So in the audio drivers here, there's several different line levels. These are the speakers, the microphone that's listening to the phone. These are the speakers that's enunciating or pushing the voice out into the phone. So this is your line and these are your speakers. Each of these is a separate AIM unit, and every time an AIM unit gets attached, it's going to be given a different number. So in this case, these AIM units were assigned 17 and 19. It doesn't mean that they're in any particular order. Channel 1 could be higher or it could be lower in terms of the 17 or the 18 than the next one. So that's the assignment for it. Now, in order to map it to what the channels are, so I've got channel 1 and channel 2 here, there's an application. If you come into the Linkmaster folder, there's an application here called AudioTunes, which I will launch. And that will help you understand the kind of the corresponding assignments. So here, channel 1, that one's been assigned 17. So that's how I know that the physical channel 1 is assigned to 17, and here's 19, so that's channel 2 in that case. So why don't we go ahead and just get started. I'll hit the start button. That's going to set up the call. And once the call goes, here we starting, second call is ringing. And now the second phone answered the call, and now here's this one is receiving the speech, and channel 2 is sending the speech. And we'll see once the WAV file has been captured, it'll overlay. If I open up this audio control panel, that's this little panel up here, it opens up the sounds. Now these are the speakers, and the recording is that line level I talked about. So I come back to AudioTunes. 17 is channel 1. So if I come back here and I open up the sound, line 17, double click on it, and then I can go to the levels. And if I were to turn it down, what we would see then is the volume, or the received volume, is going to be a lot lower. So now the blue line's a little bit lower, and the attenuation, the amount of gain that the Polka algorithm applied, has increased. So it just went down, now 3.7. If I make it even lower levels, you can make it really low. They're down to 17 and it'll get really small. We'll watch it happen. There we go. So now it's really small. So in this case, you can manually adjust the volume in real time in order to get it to the level you want. So then I can, maybe bump it up to, let's try 50 again. Again, I'm just watching this this one here, channel 1 in this case. And there we go. Now we're back to effectively a 0 value. Once I have adjusted my line for each of the different phones, and if I need to, I can adjust the speakers. Once I've got those settings right, then I can go back to AudioTunes here, and if I hit the refresh, these settings have now been sort of read from that value. So we've set the speakers at 35 and the line or the microphone at 50. If I come down to this setting on the lower left and I save it to default, what that will do is it's going to save it to a file called the MOS Manager. It's an INI file that's shared between the AudioTunes application and LinkMaster. I can just say yes. What that does now is the next time that I start a test, when it initiates the measurement, it reads from that INI file. So now it knows how to set the volume levels for each of the channels, and then the following tests will proceed normally. So it's a little bit of a kind of back and forth game as you try and get your volume set right, but set up a long call first, and once you've got a nice long call going, then you can adjust the settings manually for your speaker and your recordings until you get the settings the way you want them. Once you've got them set, then you can use the AudioTunes application here to write them out to an INI file that will be shared.